I have a severe lung condition, traces of pulmonary fibrosis, have some risks involved. I might have died. So ever since I was a kid, I used to hear voices. I used to hear like a child is crying out for help. Satanic voice, very hoarse, very scary. You're a burden. You're a disappointment. You should die, die, die. I used to take safety pins and I used to prick them in my fingers and I used to sit with that. My dad cannot be treated. He'll die. I will also die. So that's when my mom found Jesus. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. It's because Jesus gave us a new life. But trust me, when He is with you, He just keeps you protected. I have a plan for you, a plan not to harm you but to prosper you. यीशु ही सत्य है, यीशु ही जीवन है, यीशु मेरा प्रभु. So, praise the Lord, and I'm Eliza Iris, and today I'm going to share a very precious part of my life, which I really want others to know, and I hope this can inspire them. So I would like to start with a very favorite verse of mine. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5 says that, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. So my story goes back to before I was born. My parents, they come from a Hindu family. So after they were married and my mom was pregnant with me, my dad suffered a very massive and dangerous skin disease called pemphigus vulgaris. What was happening was his skin was peeling off and his flesh was melting and falling. So he couldn't wear anything because if he was wearing something, it used to like stick to his skin. So he used to go around bare body and it was painful for him. So all the doctors around in Calcutta said that they cannot save him. And they also said that the child that my mother was carrying back at that time, which is me, would either be a dead kid or would be mentally or physically challenged. So my mom did not want to give up. She said she would fight and she took us like, no, I wasn't present that time. I was in her womb, but she took my dad to Vellore and there she started his treatment. Even there, doctors told that my dad cannot be treated, he'll die, I will also die. So that's when my mom found Jesus. She went to pray to a church and her prayer was very pure. She just said that, see, I don't know who you are. I just know you're some kind of a God that foreigners pray to, but I have heard that you have, given life to a dead man. So my husband, neither my child, they are dead. So I believe you can raise them and you can give them life. And if you do, then my entire family will be yours forever. So right after that prayer, I won't go into that in details because it alone would take lots of time. So right after that, what happened? Doctors said that my dad has responded point something percent to the treatment and that they were willing to continue the treatment. And then they did ultrasonography of my mother, and then they found out that the child was also pretty much healthier than that child was before. So if I cut the story to now at present, then I am sitting right here in front of you. I'm not mentally challenged, I'm not physically challenged, and I'm all perfectly healthy, and my dad is also living a very healthy life right now. So after that, our parents decided they would get converted, and when the priest, they questioned my parents, so they said they did not have any problems because Jesus gave us a new life, so we can live in Christ. They have no issues with that. So like where we are sitting right now in Bandel Church, this is where our journey of faith started from. So back then, Father Pulikul was here in Bandel Church. So when my mom came here, and she approached father to get converted and everything. And she also offered me. She said that whatever, if she would have a son or a daughter, would serve his or her entire life for God. Okay, so after that, when she came, Father Pulikal asked her that, why do you want to get converted? It's all right. Christianity is a lifestyle. It does not mean you have to get baptized. But my mom said that no, if I don't get baptized, I'm not going to receive Christ in my soul as the form of the host, communion. So fathers, they agreed. They sent us to Sarampur parish. There they got converted, and then my mom decided that she will offer me. And then fathers told that you just have one kid. Why do you want to offer her? Let her live her own life. My mom said, look, if I would have 10 diamond necklaces and I would give one, it does not make sense. But if I just have one diamond necklace and I give it away, that is what a sacrifice is. So father said that it's all right, you go ahead, but you never force her to be a sister. Let her live her own life, because that is a promise that you made to Christ. She is not aware of that promise. She is not a part of it. So apparently, when I started growing up, it was built in me that I want to serve Christ. I want to be a sister. And funny enough, she was like, I grew up here. Why I tell you this is because I did my schooling from Auxilium Convent, Bandel. So back then, when I was in class nursery, my mom was a retreat singer here in Bandel, and Father Tommy was here back then. So we used to live with the sisters. Back then we had Sister Preeti, Sister Rosie, Sister Linda, and they were looking after me. I grew up with them, and I always had it in my mind that I will be a nun. I will serve Christ. But then again, my mom got pregnant with my brother, and we moved back to where we come from, Rishra. I was continuing my school here, but then we moved back to Rishra. And the moment I stepped out of this world, I faced the outer world, my dreams changed. I did not want to be a sister any longer. I said that yes, I will serve Christ, but I won't wear that uniform. I want a family life. I don't want to be a sister, because because I am a human and humans are fragile. What if I make a mistake? I cannot insult that uniform that I'm going to wear it. So I said that I want to be a fashion designer. From being a sister, I went to be a fashion designer. And I was really determined to be a fashion designer. So my parents were okay with that, though my mom was a little bit disheartened because I was offered to Christ as a gift, because Christ gave me as a gift to them. So she was disheartened, but it's all right. After that, what happened? My mom also changed her path. She went into acting. She was a Tollywood actress. And because she was out of house, she wouldn't come to church much. We also were reluctant to come to church. And that is when my journey began away from Christ. Where I was supposed to journey with Christ, I started walking away from Him. And I got into all sorts of bad company. No, I wasn't a bad girl as in into addictions and all, like smoking and drinking and all. But yes, I was into bad company. I was not a good girl. So after that, one day we came back to Christ again. We got a call from one of the families in our parish. They said that it's been long, you're not coming to church. Just come back. You'll feel good. And maybe that was just Jesus feeling bad that we are lost sheep and we are just going away. So he just called us back. And the transformation began again, but only in my mother. When she came back, now she was determined we are not going to miss a single day of church, a single Sunday. We are going to receive the communion every time. Now, what happened? I've always been a sick kid. I've always been weak. But things started getting worse after I came to class 7. I was in school practicing for my sports day, and suddenly I felt like there was no supply of oxygen. I was gasping for air, and I felt like this is the end of everything. I'm going to die. And my school authorities, they sent me back home. That same night, actually midnight, it was 2 a.m., and I just sat up straight, and I was feeling like somebody's choking me to death. I couldn't breathe at all, not at all. When I was taken to the doctor said that I have a severe lung condition. I was diagnosed with type 3 asthma, but that was severe, and my windpipe was getting narrower with time. And I already had consecutive 2 attacks in that span of time. And if I would have another in that same time, I that would be life risking. It would have some risks involved. I might have died. So he strictly told me that you're not supposed to. And yeah, it was found that I'm allergic to dust and grass and everything. So I have to stay away from greenery. So even though that was weird to me, because something that I love is nature, plants, and flowers, but I was supposed to stay away from that. Now, what happened? I was strictly told you cannot miss your inhalers at all. If you do, it's going to risk your life. But I'm disobedient. I did not take my inhalers. And in that process, we started getting closer to God. My mom started getting closer to God, and she kept praying a lot for me. And she started sending prayer requests to priests and everyone. And God really does listen, because I did have such a critical lung condition, but that was the last that I had any asthmatic attack. I still do have breathing troubles every now and then when I run or when I talk fast, when I walk fast, but I never had another attack in my life again, which could push me towards death. I did not have it again. But I did not learn from that, because we are fragile, we are weak, we tend to make mistakes, and we only realize God is calling us when we are at our worst. So I kept going away from Christ, and there was a point in my life I was so reluctant to come to retreats. I was so reluctant to go to church. Like Saturday night, I'm sleeping all with energy and everything, but as soon as it's like Sunday in the morning, I'm suddenly like, oh, my head is hurting or my stomach is hurting. I cannot walk. This, that. I used to use breathing trouble as my excuse that I cannot breathe, so I cannot walk. Let me be at home. My mom would understand. She would force me, but how much can you force a person if she's faking it so much? I even did things like, yes, I will confess it over here. I even did things like, I I am insomniac. I don't sleep much at night. So what I used to do, I used to wait for my family to fall asleep. I used to, yeah, this is the first time that I'm confessing, and I hope if my mom finds out, she doesn't kill me. So what I used to do is I used to wait for my family to fall asleep. Then I used to get up. I used to turn off all the alarms in each and every mobile phones in our family, so that they wouldn't wake up in the morning. They wouldn't call me for church. Yeah, I did that. I'm sorry for that, but I did that. And so what happened? I was a sick child, and I did have breathing troubles every now and then. I used to suffer a lot, and then I fell in love with a guy who was absolutely not from our faith. And I was so much head over heels for him. My parents were disheartened, but I was crazy. It's just young love. So I was crazy. And in that phase, I wasn't happy, but then I did not want to leave it either, because I felt like, yeah, if I let this guy go, I might not get any guy in my life. So I stuck. I stayed there. Even though I knew he had been talking to multiple girls, but then I stayed. I was diagnosed with, and I since class 7, when I said that I first got diagnosed with that lung problem and everything, asthma and traces of pulmonary fibrosis. So I also started facing things. Ever since I was a kid, I used to hear voices. Now this is going to be a little bit dark. So ever since I was a kid, I used to hear voices. I used to hear like a child is crying out for help. I used to run out to the balcony to see if somebody is crying, but I never realized that the voice was inside me. And as I grew up, the voice also grew up with me, and it changed voices with time. When I was a kid, I used to hear cries for help, and when I grew up a little bit, the voice developed, and it was seeking for help. It really said that, do you see me? Do you hear me? I need help, as if someone really asked help from me. I never knew that was my inner voice seeking help from someone or myself. And when I reached my adulthood, the voice also reached its peak, and now it was just a, you know, satanic voice, very hoarse, very scary. And it told me all sorts of things that I did not want to hear, that you're a burden, you're a disappointment, you should die, die, die. Okay? It was scary. And how it used to happen is, if I'm trying to explain something to someone, if they're not listening to me, I used to get a sharp pain in my head. The pain would travel down through my jaws to my throat, and then when it would hit my chest, everything used to black out. I used to get, engulfed by the voices and darkness. And I used to just, I needed someone to just snap me out of it, to tell me that it's all right. It's just nothing. It's in your head. So, just like I said, I was never addicted to anything, smoking, drinking as such. But one thing that I was addicted to was harming myself, hurting myself, seeing my own blood. Because every time I heard those voices, they told me to die, and I really wanted to die. Let me tell you, I did not take science because I'm scared of biology, I'm scared of blood, but it was ironic how I loved to see my own blood. And I did not do it because I found it cool. I found it that, yeah, young people, they have scars, and yeah, I will look cool, I will have a story to tell. It was just that I enjoyed doing it. It freed me from the torments that I was facing mentally. So I felt that physical pain is better than having mental strains and everything. I started pursuing psychology in college. I opened up to my professor. I told her everything that I was going through, and she referred me to go to a psychologist, at first a psychiatrist, and then a psychologist, because she understood I need medical help. And then I went to the psychiatrist. He sent me to a psychologist again, and I was diagnosed with severe depression with self affliction and auditory schizophrenia with epileptic seizures. I was given medicines to take. Those medicines also had side effects, so I stopped taking them even though I was not supposed to stop taking them. So that was what my mental health was like. But before I got diagnosed with it, before I got into college, while I was still in class 12 and I was still with that guy, so before that, once I was here in Bandel Church, and I happened to meet with this Sister Nirmal Jyoti, and somehow that day in church, wherever I went, like magic, she appeared in front of me. I don't know why. And one day, not one day, one time, after we kept meeting here and there, she asked me what my name was and everything. She told me a very weird thing. She told me that she sees Mother Mary's shadow on me. And she asked me if I wanted to join them, if I wanted to wear that uniform. And I told her my story, that yes, I was supposed to be a sister, but I don't want to be a sister. And she was really after me. She was like, no, we'll pray for you, we'll pray for you. And she kept going after me. I met her in class 10, I think, or maybe 11. And then I was in 12, but she was still after me. That no, I'm still waiting for you to come join us. And then I said, sister, I want to be a psychologist. I don't want to do this. And then she said, I'm also a psychologist. You can be a sister and still be a psychologist. I said, no, you're not getting me. I don't want to wear that. So she also went to my home. And she went to my house and she told me, we are waiting for you. Come join us. So she was after me. So that same sister who loved me so much, when I was in class 12, we had a Marian retreat over here in Bandel Church, and she invited my mom to be the retreat singer. It was conducted for 30 sisters altogether. So when my mom came here, and she wanted me to come along with her because I also sing, and I wherever she sings, I sing with her. So she used to call me, and she knew I was not in a good company. That guy was not good for me, and she knew in her absence I would definitely meet him. I would go running and meet him. So she forced me, she pulled me, she begged me to come. It was a retreat for 3 days, and for the first 2 days, I was successful. I told her, no, I have this assignment to do, I have that to do. And then on the night of the second day, she understood I'm making excuses, and we had a very huge fight. And I told her I'm not going to go. And next day in the morning, she was determined she will take me, she will bring me here to the retreat. And for the very first time in life, my dad went against me. He also pushed me. He was like, go. Because apparently, there was something on my face that did not look like me. It did not look like Eliza at all. It was somebody else. And if I tell you, I don't know if you would be able to imagine it in your head, but it was really my mom pulling my hair. You have to come. And I'm just holding the wall that I won't go. My mom just, she thrashed me. She was like, you have to come. I don't know anything. And she pulled me over here. I did not go inside. I was sitting right here. Back then it was not a concrete hall like this. So I was sitting over here in the Fatima garden, and I just sat. And the first look Sister Nirmal took at me, the same sister who loved me so much, who wanted me to join her, I saw disgust in her face when she looked at me. She was deeply, filled with hatred for me. No, sisters, they do not have hatred for anybody, but yeah, I could see it. She did not like my presence. And she told my mom, leave her here. You come upstairs with me. And then after the break, my mom came and she took me upstairs in the place where the retreat was conducted. I sat beside her. Sister just looked at me with disgust. She did not talk to me, even if I tried to. And yes, I had a weird style back then. Uh, I was young, I was lost. So I was wearing one black stub in this year and one black cross in this year. And it did not look right. It did not look good. So when she saw me, the only thing she did to me was she just pulled it off my ears and she gave it to my hand. She said, you will throw it away. And I said, okay. And then I went upstairs to the retreat. You wouldn't believe, I sang. I do sing. People say I sing good. But that day, what I sang was not me. My mom said, sisters said that it was as if the entire choir of heaven, I don't believe that, but they were saying that the entire choir of heaven was singing through me because it did not sound like my voice, and I was singing Pavitra Atma A, that famous song. And while I was singing that song, I started feeling tingles all over my body. I felt so weak, and I fell on my mom's lap right after I finished singing. I fell on her lap, and the only thing I could see was everything pitch black, just a white, not a very clear figure, but a white, shadowy, sparkly thing just pulling out something from me and just took away. And after that, when I got up and the retreat was over, Sister Nirmal Jyoti came and she hugged me and she told me that now look at you. The way you entered, it was so bad, it was so dark, but now look at you. You look fresh, you look like my Elisa. I was happy, but I still did not want to leave that guy. When again after the retreat, when we were sitting over here, my mom explained to me that look, you have to get over it. It's not right. So what happened? I really started rolling on the ground here. I really started rolling on the ground. I'm not exaggerating. I was just rolling like a kid throwing a tantrum when you refuse to give him his favorite toy, right? My mom was just, she couldn't believe it was me. But God has his own plans. I don't even know how. My mom had been praying that God, she is so much into him, she cannot leave him. So you do something that he leaves her. And that is what happened. Exactly. So I came back. I told my mom it's over. She she cried when she saw me cry, but later on she confessed that she was very happy. She was actually laughing inside when I was crying, and I said that was very rude of you to say. So after that, uh, when I was diagnosed with this thing, in that phase, this mental health condition, I was again said that it's a very critical thing. I'm not supposed to be alone. If I'm alone, then thoughts are going to take over me. I might try to kill myself, which I did many times. It started with hurting myself. I used to, yeah, I did not do that cliched thing that people do, which will leave scars over here, like scraping your hand, with blades and everything. What I used to do is, I used to take safety pins and I used to prick them in my fingers and I used to sit with that. 5 fingers, 5 safety pins, pricked inside, and I'm sitting. That was peace, apparently. And then a point came, I tried to end my life many times. I don't know why I was so desperate, but I just want to die. I did not see any hope in living. So, anyways, after that, I prayed a lot. And slowly, I got back into Christ. I got pulled back to Him. And I prayed to Him. Let's see, now that I have responded to your call, I don't want to die. I want to live. And if I have to live, you give me a reason to live. And after that day, I did not need my mental health medicines anymore because I never felt sad. I never felt the need to hurt myself. Yes, sometimes I do get depressed even now because, again, we are human. So we do feel emotions, and when it's tough, we do get into that phase. But after that day, I never had that urge that I want to kill myself. Instead, what I started doing, I have been writing since I was a kid. I used to write, but what I did, every time I felt like it's getting heavy and I cannot express it, I started turning it into poetry, and with His grace, successfully, I published my very first book in the year 2023, month of October, and it's doing good. It's doing good in the market. It's available on Amazon, and I thanked Him. I said that you turned my sadness, my depression, into a beautiful art of poetry that people can relate to, that people can read, and they can they can feel that they're seen, they're heard. So after that, everything was fine in my life, and then I got a very good guy that I got along well with from my college, and he supported me in everything. But then again, I'll come back to it later. So, we girls do have cycles every month. So the first time I started my cycle, I was in class 6. But all throughout, I was in 7, 8, and 9. I did not have any cycle. It did not come to me. It did not happen. And people told me that it's just fine. You're young. It happens. But then there was something wrong, and then I was taken to a doctor because I was suffering from a little bit of stomach ache as well. So I was taken to a doctor, our family doctor, and he suggested I should go have an USG. So when I did that, the reports were all fine. So again, doctor said that it's okay, you're just young, you'll get through it. I did get through it. I did start my cycle again, but then it was not regular. It was irregular. It was very less and everything. But I was like, it's okay. But after I came to college and all these stories that I shared with you, I went through all of these. And after that, when I came to college, we were having this college program, and in that phase it was the month of January, and that entire month, to my surprise, I kept bleeding without any pause that entire month. Then came February, and I was still bleeding, and I was very weak because anyways I'm like a weak kid, so it was too much of a blood loss for me. So while this program was going on, I fainted in college suddenly. So after I was brought back to consciousness, near my college, I was sent to a hospital, and then doctors asked me about since when is this happening and everything. I told them. They even speculated some things which college people do face. So she asked me about those things, and I said that no, there's nothing like that. So don't worry about it. I have been suffering since I was very young. So she said that she trusted me that USG did not give any results. So she made me go through another process called TVS, and it was very painful. I'm not going to describe it here, but it was very painful. And as a young person, it was really painful. Now, through TVS, it was found a camera when it was inserted inside my body. It was found that there was a very big sized cyst which was formed in my right ovary, and it was so big that my ovary almost did not have any space, and it was apparently cancerous in nature. It could have, I could get cancer through it. So I was suggested to get rid of that entire ovary. I would not have my ovary. When I went back home and I told my parents about it, they were naturally very scared because I'm still young. I haven't seen anything of life yet. And to get rid of a vital organ of a woman is something that they did not want. So I talked about it to my college professor again, and she referred me to another gynecologist. I went to that doctor. She again made me go through that TVS. It was again very painful. She also concluded with the same result, but it was weird because the former doctor told me that the cyst was in my right ovary, and then this doctor told me that the cyst is in my left ovary, and actually in the report it was like that. So it turned out that somehow both of my ovaries were having cysts, but left one was having a smaller one but hemorrhagic, and the right one was having a larger one but endometriotic, like that. So both were pretty tough for me to deal with. So she gave me a medicine and she told me to have it for 6 months, and if not, I would have to get operated. I would have to go under knives. Now, I was taking that medicine, but you know, all throughout the day I would be fine. I would have no pain, nothing. But as soon as I would take that medicine after dinner, I couldn't sleep at night. It felt like someone was cutting my stomach from inside. It pained so sharp. So, and already I work in the diocese in the youth commission under Father Michael. You all know him. So, what happened? He tried to reach me, and in that phase, I changed my mobile number. So he couldn't get in contact with me. So suddenly he called my mom, and he found out that I was suffering with all of this. So he wanted to meet me because luckily, God has his own way of planning things, and father was there near my house. He went there to the schools for inspection. So he said that I'm here, so I'm coming to meet her. And it was an honor for me to have Father Michael in my place to come see me. And when he came and saw me and he heard what I was going through, he clearly said that no, you're so young, you don't have to get rid of your ovaries, right? So he just asked me, are you comfortable to go to another doctor if I suggest? I said, yeah, sure. And he referred me to yet another doctor, and she is from our faith, and she sits in Sacred Heart Church, Gothas Medical Center. I went to her, I told her everything, and then she still, after listening to me, she told me that you're so young, how can they make you go through TVS and all? See, you have to go through USG. I'm writing it in your report, in your prescription. I said, but ma'am, I already told you, USG did not work out for me. But she said, you just have faith and go for USG. When I went for USG, this time it did show up in the USG reports. She saw it and she told me that whatever medicines you have been taking for the past few months, you stop that. And I'm giving you some new medicines. You start taking them for 6 months. And if it works, good for you, because I don't think you need surgery. You're very young. And then I started taking the medicines. It started helping me very much, and after 6 months, I'm very careless when it comes to doctors and all. So I was supposed to go meet her on the 6th month, but I went on the 9th month apparently. So when I went and she got me checked again, to all of our surprise, the report was absolutely changed. Where the first doctor told that it's going to be cancerous, you have to get rid of your ovary, this, that, everything changed. The report, yeah, I do have cysts, but it does not need any surgery, and the medicines will work. And after that, she told me I did not even have to continue my medicines anymore. The condition is so stable right now, you don't have to take medicines anymore. But she told me one thing that I get to hear a lot, that all you need is food, eat. So she recommended another medicine to me because she got to know the fact that I have a very little appetite. I don't really get hungry. So she gave me another medicine. I don't take it though, but yes. And so this is about my life, that I have been through many critical, I have been diagnosed with many critical health conditions, mental health conditions, where doctors gave me that she might die, or maybe don't leave her alone, she might kill herself, or maybe she might have to go under the knives and everything. But trust me, when he is with you, he just keeps you protected. Why I started with that verse from Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 is because he really does have plans for me. Because if he would not, then he would have let me be a dead kid. He would have let me died in the first place, but he saved me from there. It was me and I acted like a fool. I did not listen to his call, that I walked away from him. Yes, I did not listen to his call doesn't mean that I'm going to be a sister anyways. I said I'm not going to be a sister, but I'm going to serve him all throughout my life till I'm alive, because this life is a gift of him, and not just once, not just twice. He saved me every time. Every time there was something critical, I did not have to. You wouldn't believe I said so many things. Yeah, I did go through many sickness, which I'm not saying in this video, but never in my life did I have any needle or blade piercing through my body. It never happened to me, and he always kept me protected. And I'll just say one tiny incident from my life which happened just last week. I am connected to Emmaus Retreat Center, which is very famous. All we have all the Catholics and all the Christians apparently in Calcutta know about this place. So we go there for retreat. Every weekend we are there. Emmaus has retreats on the first 2 weekends of the month, and then the third Sunday is for the youth, and the fourth weekend is free. That's when I go to my own church. I have been through lots of hardships. I won't talk about it here, but now the peace that I have found, it feels like every tear that I have shed, every problems that I have been through, it was so much worth it, you know. Because now that I'm connected to Emmaus and I'm regular to Emmaus, I do help here and there a little bit. So I sit for registration when people come, you know. So I take down their names and everything. So last week, I was not last week, last to last week, we had this English retreat, English intercessory retreat. And there I was sitting and I was going through such a tough time, because apparently the guy that I mentioned about, who is now my ex, but he is from my college. I genuinely did love him very much, and he loved me too. And it is not like that childhood love that initially I talked about. It was not that. I did pour out everything for him. I prayed to God every day about him, and I still pray to God about him. But what happened was, his love suddenly started becoming obsession. And obsession is not right. It's unhealthy for the person who is loving and also the person who is getting loved. So I had to walk away. So I was going through a very tough time, and it apparently happened on the day of my brother's birthday. So I was going through a very tough time, and it was so difficult for me to hold my tears that when I was sitting for registration, when people were walking in, I was keeping myself strong. I was pretending that, yes, I'm smiling, it's all right. But as soon as they were writing their names and they were going, I was again breaking down, and breaking down in the sense, really breaking down. I was really crying. And even that moment, I kept praying to God that, God, why can't you just change his heart? Why can't his obsession go back to love again? Why? So I cried a lot. And it was so difficult for me to hold it that while I was sitting in the retreat, I realized that now I need to burst out. And if I burst out over here, people will get distracted. I know people do cry in retreats, but if I just let myself out, they will get distracted. So what I did was, I ran to the chapel downstairs, and I sat in front of the monstrance living God. And I'll tell you one thing, the relationship that I have with Jesus is, I don't believe that he is just a God. I don't want to treat him so far from me. So I have established a bond with him, because his birthday is on 25th of December and my birthday is right a month after his birthday. So I treat him like my older brother. I treat him like my home, and instead of praying, I fight with him. And I really do that. So I just ran to the chapel, and for solid 10 to 15 minutes, it was a wordless prayer. I just kept beating my chest. I screamed, I cried my heart out to the point that I couldn't breathe anymore. And then Spirit did give me words, but he did not give me sweet words. He gave me rude words again. He gave me words to fight with him again. So I accused him. I really fought with him like this. And I accused him. I questioned him. I told him all sorts of things that I could. Just like siblings fight. I fought with him very much. And when I was done, and when I was satisfied, and I thought I've told him enough, I should stop, I like wiped my tears and everything. So I did not know someone was sitting behind me. And when I was about to leave, she just called out to me and she handed over a prayer card to me and she wanted me to read it right then. And it's this prayer card called the Surrender Prayer. And when I read this prayer card, each line felt like Jesus himself was sitting in front of me and he was answering to every question that I asked him, every accusations that I put on him. He really answered line by line. And when I read this entire thing, I cried again. I asked him, how can you love so deep? I mean, I was cursing at you, I was shouting at you, but you still did not let me go. You just pulled me back to you again. It gave me strength. I felt better. And when I went outside to the retreat again, something happened. I was very strong. After I went back home, I realized why God let that person go from my life. So, ever since I have been a kid, whatever has been dear to me, be it a person, he has been taken away. Be it my favorite food, I love to eat brinjals, but then I was found allergic to it. I love flowers, greenery, and again, I'm allergic to it. So, that is how it has always been. He did not let me die, and whatever that was bad in my life for me, he just cut it off. Absolutely. No contact, nothing. And I'm a very impulsive kind of a person. I just do whatever. I don't think twice before doing something. And when that goes wrong, I that's when I run to Jesus and I be like, I made another mistake, please save me this time. Next time I'm going to make sure I let you know first. But after all of these things that have happened with me and after what happened last week, it is more evident that he has always been there with me in my life ever since I was born. Even when I was gone astray from him, I did not see him, I did not hear him. He did listen to me and he did see me and he always protected me. I failed to know that. So, after all of these, now what I've started doing is I've given up on the fact that why me or why this. What I have started doing instead is, so is this what you want? Then so be it. This is what I work on right now. And life has been so much easier with this thought in my mind that no matter what happens, no matter who turns their back on me, I am always protected. I'm always being looked after, and I have made a deal with Saint Michael, the archangel, that listen, I cannot disturb my elder brother always. So whenever I am in some trouble, you are going to come and protect me on his behalf. And he does that. He is with me always. And that is the reason, if we go back in this testimony, I said that I wanted to be a fashion designer. Yes, there was financial problems, but even then, I could have thought of becoming anything other than being a, fashion designer. But I chose to be a psychologist because that's when I already started feeling the presence of him in my life. I do not acknowledge it because, yes, we are humans. We love to pretend that we are not in love when we are. But then I knew he was with me. So, what I wanted to do is, just like he listens to me, he sees me, I wanted to make other people who did not find him yet to feel heard, to feel seen, and maybe to feel the presence of his love through me. And that is why I chose to do psychology. And I would love to end with another verse from the Bible, which is very close to my heart. I always keep telling it to myself. That is from Jeremiah 29:11. I have a plan for you, a plan not to harm you but to prosper you. So I am willingly and readily giving all to him, because I know he has a plan for me, and he always had a plan for me, because every time he took something away from me, he did give me something better. So that's all, and praise the Lord. Take care.